Welcome to Poetry in the Kitchen. Real kitchen, real poetry. Pardon my slang. I, the inept. I watched her from across the room. I admired her aptitude, the precision she exhibited. I questioned this ancient technique. Hereditary, or something in their DNA maybe. No, they are trained to proficiency from an early age. The rest of us can't do it. I try to imitate but fumble, appear foolish to her, I'm sure. When someone at my table has somehow mastered it, their face belies smugness. I will manage to pick up 5 grains of rice, but drop 3 to my lap before I can get them to my mouth. When I look at my plate, estimate how long it will take to finish, I know I am defeated. Ashamed, I lay them down on the table, shyly ask for a fork. Mantis. Don't mistake me for a native. My ancestors were brought here from China 80 years ago. I have only one ear in my belly, but I have heard humans mention a land shark. That would be me. I am an eating machine, cold, ruthless, patient beyond belief. My kind have wreaked much terror in our world. You, at the top of the food chain, can't imagine the horror of being clamped in my jagged claws, eaten alive. I watch through my piercing compound eyes, laugh inside as I dine on the innards of my prey. All manner of insects have fallen in my clutches. Caterpillars, ants, beetles, moths. Bees and wasps don't scare me. I snatch them too. I take a lizard when I can find one. A few times I have even captured a finch. A fine feast. They taste like chicken. I spend my life in the hunt and the meal. Before the first frost I mate, spin my eggs into a cocoon as gray as my disposition. 100 offspring will grow and carry on the legacy of fear. To speak of mating, I spy my mate close the side of that tree. Come here. Closer. Closer. Let me mount you in the heat. Inseminate me, darling. Yes, that's good. Your head is delicious. I want mine. I want to know why I don't have mine. I called the toll-free number, punched in my social security number and 6-digit birth date on the phone. 1 for yes, 2 for no, # to confirm the information, or hit 0 to repeat the message. I completed the online form, all 20 spaces, entered the security code on the back of my credit card, verified my bill to address to be the same as my mailing address. I entered the distorted number and letter sequence to prove that I am not a robot. I want to know why I don't have mine yet. I paid extra for the 2-day express shipping instead of the free 1-week delivery. I registered a new account, didn't pay as a guest. I paid with PayPal instead of direct with a new card. I gave my email address for order tracking purposes and allowed the information on the sales specials and promotion events to be sent to my email or texted to my phone. I understood that I could opt out of those emails and texts at any time I choose. I want to know where mine is right now. I waited on hold to bad music for the next available representative. I understood that due to higher than normal call volume, the expected wait time might be longer than usual. I was reminded of this several times. I received the email that stated my order was successfully placed and showed the charge applied to my account. The text notification of the order being shipped dropped into my messenger. That was days and days ago, so I just want to know what happened to mine. I face my addiction head on. I do a few lines, but not in the squalor of a ghetto apartment or condemned factory building among the rats, pigeons, and stale air. Not on a tenement rooftop that overlooks Chelsea or the Village. I do a few lines, but not with a dealer or people I met on the streets or alleys, or partiers I made acquaintance with in the restroom of a downtown nightclub. I do a few lines. I don't make them with a razor blade on the coffee table, snort them up my nose with a drinking straw, although I feel like it. I do a few lines. I don't scrape them into a spoon, hold a lighter's flame under the spoon, turn the powder to liquid, suck it up in a needle, find a good vein, feel the burn as I slowly inject it. I do a few lines alone here on the couch in my living room, my dog at my side. My mind totally clear, the keys of my laptop click as I type away. I do a few lines, and now this one is finished. Regret in D major for G. Scott. It has been almost 6 years. I can still hear your notes. You astounded me. Play like no one I had ever heard. Your Strat wept, moaned, yelled in your hands, in my ears. I can still hear your voice, minor rasp projected into the air. Frontman of our old band, you weren't plagued with ego. You just wanted to play. You were as real as a man can be. The night of your wake at St. Mary's was ungodly cold. The narthex was packed with people in black suits and thick overcoats, which made them seem a gathering of crows. I saw your girlfriend with her 2-year-old son. I saw you in his dark eyes staring back. I could not stop the fractures claiming, breaking me apart. You were gone, so much left behind. Sometimes I can hear the wail of your guitar slide glissandos in a winter wind. It reminds me, people who chase the tiger may stop for a while, but so often cannot resist the temptation to start again. Just one more time, then I'm really done, they tell themselves. You thought so yourself. I regret you did. You will never know. September 23rd. It was near 11 p.m. and I was on the patio looking at the stars. To my left, the Big Dipper. To my right, Draco stretched out over the neighborhood. It was the autumnal equinox. It was quiet. I could almost hear the chants from the Wiccan gatherings. I told myself if the world was going to end as is predicted each year, the powers that be had better hurry up. There was only about an hour left to get it done. I went inside, brushed my teeth, and got into bed. The next morning, I woke up. I looked out the window, and other people were alive and about also. It wasn't the movie Day of the Triffids. I went back to bed for one more hour. My Kodachrome. There are bright smiles in some of her photos. They are not for you or for them. They are for me. There are certain sultry looks in her eyes in others. They are not for you or for him. They are for me. There are a few of her wearing a devilish grin. Those are not for you or for them either. They too are for me. There are pictures where she sports a look of mystery. Once again, these looks are for me. There are a couple of shots in which her face glows with lusty want. These especially are for me, and only me. It doesn't matter where you see these photos, when, who shows you, or why. Don't ask questions. She looked at me as each of these was taken. That's all you need to know. Hungry visitor. My daughter looked across the patio. She knew I studied them, asked about this attractive specimen. I didn't know. Still, a nearly tip-of-the-tongue phenomenon nagged me. After she left, I scrutinized 2 field guides. Over an hour I read every word of reference on what I knew were of similar variety. Some in migration through here now hybridize, causing color variations. I thought it the possible explanation, but not convinced, snatched a current hobby digest. I turned a few pages, was dazzled with recall at a photo. I saw this one yesterday. Same markings, colors. It had on the pine tree exhibited the unique trait. It hung upside down as it circled the trunk to hunt insects in the bark. Thrilled, I quickly texted my daughter these few words: white-chested nuthatch. You have to be kidding. Recently, I bought new underwear at the local flea market. Yes, new. There are good deals there. When I got home and opened up the packages, I found they were hip huggers. That wasn't printed on the packages. I wore them anyway. Though they are soft, comfortable, they make me feel like my pants are falling down. I should just throw them away and spring for the Hanes boxer briefs at Target and be done with it. I see you watch me now as I read. You look to see if I'm shifting my hips or legs. You wait for me to reach a hand down, pull up on my belt or the side loops. Stop it. Watch me now. I am empowered. I can reverse my receding hairline, effortlessly dissolve my belly fat, get ripped in 4 months. 14 minutes a day. I can inflate my tires and soccer balls anywhere. Auto insurance can be mine within 10 minutes. I am capable of burning cheese in the pan and it will not stick, ever. I can sue someone and call the hotline. It is free. I don't pay a fee unless we win the lawsuit. If I get a quote for windows and doors, it's good for a year. I can clean bathroom tile and grout effortlessly. My garden hose won't burst or kink, guaranteed. I am protected from unauthorized transactions. I can irrigate my nasal passages with gentle suction and mist. That's right, suction and mist. I know I am empowered because late night television reminds me of these things.